What's going on, family? Welcome to day 13. It's going to be pretty short and concise. It's the same as yesterday, but we're going to go into your partnership. I want to talk about partnership for just a moment. This is key. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge this. You need a partner in life, you need one. You're not whole until you find your partner. Yes, you can find balance within yourself, but there's everything has two sides, right? We can look at, the law of polarity. There's one side and then there's the other side. They're on the same pole, but there's both sides so you can actually have balance and harmony in the middle. This is not needed, but I think it's very important that you begin to think about this, so you can manifest somebody that you can build with, and not just a tribe per se, but a person. I think legacy is something that's very important, very powerful, especially when you're building a business. You don't want to build a business just for it to crumble when you're gone. You want to build a legacy behind it. And in order to build a legacy, yes, you can adopt, but I would think it's important for you to have your own progeny. You know, that's just my view on it. Either way, if you're going to adopt, you still should raise this child with somebody. So it's important for you to find a partner or attract a partner, become the type of person that could handle and sustain this kind of partner. So let's go into it today, family. This is what this page is all about. Apologies. It's a little late on this end, but I wanted to get this knocked out for you all. This is just something for you to think about. I want you to chew on this just for a little bit. You don't necessarily have to do it right now, but just chew on it and just think about, having support. I'm gonna have a small therapy session real fast. A lot of the times, sometimes we don't want to be in a relationship because we don't want to feel let down. We don't want to be vulnerable with another person. Sometimes we don't feel worthy of receiving love. Sometimes we're going through our own issues in our mind and in our head and in our lives, and we don't feel like we need another person. And sometimes that's not what's needed in that moment, but we have to learn to look past the moment. And we have to learn to acknowledge our visions and our goals. And I just be real with you, when your ego is dissolved, or your ego is in check, rather, not dissolved, when your ego is in check, do you really not want to have a partner? And you can have more than one if you feel like that's what you need. It doesn't really matter. But when your ego is dissolved and you have everything that you want as far as, business and success is concerned, who do you want to go home to? Who do you want to like talk with? Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe it's not. But I think everybody wants to be somebody's baby. I think DMX said that. Everybody wants to be somebody's baby. Everybody wants to be somebody's partner, somebody's lover. Now you may have your own scars, or you have your own resentment around that. And this is my personal view on it. If you are reluctant to get into a relationship, you're probably going to be reluctant to get into genuine connections with other people, prospects or otherwise. You're going to be strictly focused on a sale instead of a soul. Mm. I be having all kinds of epiphanies when I speak. This is me flowing. I'm about to put that down. These shirts are going to be available, so if you want one, let me know. That's going to be the motto: souls over sales. Man, I be loving my brain, y'all. But real deal, Holyfield. If you are obsessed, um, or if you're incapable of really making a genuine connection, it's going to make it hard to be a successful business owner, especially service based, and to keep those relationships. And I mean to really keep them and not pervert them. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Sometimes we will serve somebody and they are so grateful for it. And if we're unaccustomed to that kind of gratitude and that kind of reciprocation or reciprocity, we kind of pervert what they're trying to give us. And I won't say I tended to pervert those kind of things. And I just noticed that other people do the same thing. We think that they're hitting on us, but in reality, they're just showing us gratitude. And oftentimes, if that's the only time you've been shown gratitude from a business relationship, you tend to see the world from just a business relationship. And you have to transcend it. You have to transcend just seeing the world through business and start seeing the world as adding value and serving and loving people. And once you're able to do that, you should be able to see that people want to do the same for you. So I think it's important that everybody have a partner, or at least start thinking about getting one. And I won't say getting one, but attracting one and becoming the person that can keep a partner. And the process is the same as yesterday. What would if you were gonna have your ideal partner, ideal mate, they tend to be whatever, athletic, um, vegetarian, plant-based, pescatarian, religious, spiritual, tall, short, whatever. They like whatever. You get as specific as you can and then think about, where would you find this person at? Where would you find this person? I think it's important. Let's have this conversation, family. Self-sabotage is a real thing, and most people are self-sabotaging. People want relationships. I don't care what you have to say. You want a relationship. You're afraid of being disappointed. You're afraid of being let down. You're afraid of being vulnerable. You're afraid, and that's why you avoid relationships. But you want one. If life was perfect, you'd be in a relationship. You'd want one. If you knew there was a possibility that you wouldn't get let down, you'd go for it. But because there's a possibility that you could, you'd rather stay comfortable in your comfort zone than reach out and venture out. That's just my view on it, though, family. But nothing in life is compartmentalized. It may seem compartmentalized, but it will bleed out in other areas. When you don't want to get in a relationship because you're fearful of things or you feel insecure of some shape or form, your performance will typically reflect that. Or you may not take on the projects that you'd like to because you don't think that you're worthy of being able to do it at the level that you'd like to do it at. You got to be bold, family, and you got to step outside the box. You got to do things that challenge you and push you and make you do this. Because on the other side of that discomfort is growth. On the other side of that is courage. On the other side of that is a new life. And just by showing up and looking for people, not even looking, but just observing people and seeing if they have these traits, you begin to understand people on a deeper level. You begin to make genuine, one more time, genuine connections with people. And when you make those genuine connections with people, what you get to do is you connect with them. You start building a network because you start paying attention. You pay attention when you're looking for things in particular. And you may find while you're looking for something in particular, if you keep an open mind, that you will find something even more beautiful. Even more beautiful. It doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a new friend. It could be a newfound interest. It could just be a new experience because you decided to pay attention. And so I would implore you to do the worksheet either way, even if you don't feel like you need to find a partner, even if you don't feel like you're at the season in your life where you want to find a partner, just that you have these things that you want to observe and pay attention to. And the same goes for both of it, the tribe members and your potential clients, your prospects. Just having these and knowing what you're looking for allows you to pay attention to people on a deeper level, to pick up on the subtle nuances. And I encourage you to ask and get to know people. Ask the questions that people don't ask. Ask the questions that let people know that you're paying attention. Give people your attention. I learned this from you could call it a old peer. But I asked him for advice. He's an MLM top performer, and I used to ask him, like, how do you talk to people? Because as outgoing as I am, I still have some reservations about talking to people. I was rejected as a kid often, um, not as a kid, as a child, as a younger person, just because I'm different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I really am. I'm a different person. I do strange things, and people didn't really I didn't really connect with people like that because I was just myself, and certain things I just can't entertain. Anyways, that's kind of carried on into adulthood, and so now I feel a little hesitant to talk to people. So I asked him, I was like, "Man, how do you talk to people? Like, how do you get to make these connections?" And he gave me this piece of advice, and I want to pass it on to you as well. He said, "I want you to pretend every time you're talking to somebody, they have a flashing neon sign on their forehead that says 'Make me feel special.'" And man, when I tell you that stuck with me, it's all people want. Like I said, everybody wants to be somebody's baby. And what does that mean? People want people to care. People want people that actually are giving them attention, that are authentic, that let them feel like they matter, because they do. It's up to us, the leaders, the coaches, the consultants, the service solopreneurs, to bring those people back to a state of feeling worthy again. Now, they have to do work on their own, but we can help in that work by being a validator, by being the outlier of their current paradigm. Nobody cares about me. Nobody really wants to know how I'm doing. But when you show up with your full presence, with your full essence, and you are there and you're present and you're holding space for somebody, changes their whole world. Some people never have that their whole life. Just think about that. Some people never have somebody actually care. I know because I've had bouts where I didn't feel like people actually cared. Nobody really understood me. I'm not saying I was the only one that experienced that, but I know that that's a thing. People don't really take the time to understand everybody. But if you decide to be that person, to sit there, hold space, and understand this person, if only for this much time, if only just this little bit about themselves, that will change their life because it's a whole new experience. This is all about building a tribe and building a legacy within that tribe and within the world. That's it for today, family. Like I said, I meant to really make this really short. I know I kind of went a little longer. It's not that long. It's only almost 13 minutes. But I think these things are very important to learn the interpersonal skills of loving on people and caring about people and being present and being authentic and being genuine. But I will see you all tomorrow, family. You're doing great. You're doing excellent. You will be successful. Scratch that. You are successful right now in this moment, the moment you decide and act on that knowingness. Peace, family.